adapt to this as fast as we can. And of course, there's going to be disruptions to the way that we've been operating. However, we are looking forward to the simplicity of how our work will be, as far as the technology is concerned. And of course, today here we are talking about parliamentary operations and the harnessing of AI.
Okay, indeed, we now have to join the rest of the parliamentarians in there where they are continuing with their symposium. A few speakers are left to give their speeches and their ideas and deliberations on the theme, which is harnessing artificial intelligence for effective and efficient parliamentary processes. So we are going back to join the main session right now.
The social media and other AI-driven platforms can be used to answer citizen queries about legislation, schedules, and MP positions. This promotes transparency and allows greater citizen participation in democratic processes. We have the real-time sentiment analysis and trend monitoring. AI tools can monitor social media and other public platforms to gauge citizen sentiments and emerging concerns. This will enable parliaments to stay focused, informed, and responsive to public needs. We have efficient records and archives management. AI can digitize the index historical records, making it easier to retrieve information during debates and research, preserving institutional memory and continuity. We also identify challenges: data privacy and security risks. The use of AI in handling sensitive legislative data raises concerns over data privacy, security, and potential misuse. Adequate safeguards must be in place to prevent unauthorized access or breaches. Bias and transparency in algorithms. The AI systems can inherit biases from their training data, potentially influencing legislative decisions in unintended outcomes. Ensuring algorithmic transparency and quality of input data is important. When you talk of resistance to change and digital literacy, some parliamentarians and staff may resist the adoption of AI due to lack of familiarity. Training and change management strategies are needed. When you talk ethical and legal implication, delegating aspects of legislative work of AI raises questions about accountability, especially in cases where AI recommendations influence policy decisions or legislative outcomes. When you talk of cost and sustainability, initial investment and ongoing cost of AI integration can be significant, ensuring that such investments deliver long-term value and are fiscally sustainable and essential. I so submit.
Thank you very much. When I put the mic on, it is the time that you have for conclusion. So the DRC will be the next.
Honorable Président du Forum
President of the SADC Parliamentary Forum, Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly of Zimbabwe, Madam Secretary General of SADC Parliamentary Forum, honorable speakers of SADC Parliament and head of delegations, honorable members and dear colleagues, distinguished guests, all protocol observed. It is with a great honor that I address you today on a subject that is both fascinating and decisive for the future of governance in our region, harnessing artificial intelligence for effective and efficient parliamentary processes in SADC region, experience and opportunities. The rapid progress of the artificial intelligence and the profound repercussions it is having in today's digital world, and as such a source of transformative opportunities as they are of the problems with regard to ethical issues in certain areas of life as they involve the production of human-related behaviors such as reasoning, creativity and planning by machines. As a result, artificial intelligence, often perceived as a futuristic technology, is now a well-established reality. It transforms our economies, our societies, and yes, it can also transform our parliaments. Despite the potential benefits of this technology, there are dangers and limitations associated with it. One of them risks in the possibility of unfair or discriminatory decisions due to algorithmic bias. Thus, one of its limitations will be its inability to understand the human context in which it needs to be deployed. Excellencies, Honorable, it's a major concern for all of us, for us to know that why this artificial intelligence will be interested in our parliament, and why also this parliament is interested in the artificial intelligence. Indeed, most of our parliamentary institutions are facing growing challenges and never-increasing volume of information to process, tight legislative deadlines, and citizens who are more demanding in terms of transparency and responsiveness. So, in the face of these challenges, AI could play a key role, namely, quickly analyze complex legislation and suggest improvements, make parliamentary debates more accessible thanks to automatic translation and real-time transcription, facilitate the relationship between citizens and their parliament through interactive and intelligent platforms. In other words, by automating routine tasks, AI can free up time for humans to concentrate on more creative and strategic tasks. AI could enable or facilitate access to information, education, and even training, knowing that the introduction of this IT device involves three social challenges, namely workforce substitution and transformation, citizen social acceptance and reliability, person-to-machine and machine-to-machine interactions. At this point, I would like to highlight a few inspiring experiences in our SADC region. Several countries in our region are already experimenting with innovative solutions such as the Parliament of Angola. Talking about the experience of Angola, the Democratic Republic of Congo encourages the example of the National Parliament of Angola, which since 2017 report an acceleration of parliamentary processes with the integration of artificial intelligence and the replacement of paper document by digital document. With this in mind, in 2022, the Congolese government created a Ministry of Digital Affairs to drive the country's digital transformation, promoting integration and good governance, economic growth, and social progress. The Parliament of the Democratic Republic of Congo, with a view to improving parliamentary services and tasks, has been equipped with digital hub, operational since 2023. The experiments are promising. They show that even with the limited resources, it's possible to innovate and improve our institutions. However, there is still a danger of losses at the expense of the fight against high unemployment in the SADC region, which we're going to be concerned about the acceleration of the creation of employment. And as you can see, these advances must not mask the real difficulties we face. In particular, digital infrastructures are still uneven in our countries. The lack of artificial intelligence skills within our parliament that we are having administration is slowed down.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much.
Merci.
Next is Eswatini. Thank you. It's Eswatini now. When we put the mic on, it means you still have 1 minute remaining, because we don't want to interrupt.
Thank you very much, SADC PF President, our host speaker, speakers, my colleagues, and honorable members of parliament from our countries, and all protocol observed. I greet you all. Mr. President, we can all attest that we are living in an era where technology is a gateway to sustain our economies. Colleagues, we must all be champions on how best our parliaments can harness artificial intelligence with efficient and effective parliamentary processes with respect to experiences, challenges, and perceived opportunities. The Parliament of the Kingdom of Eswatini has profound legislative experiences in AI-powered scenario planning and big data analytics, supporting evidence-based legislative drafting, as well as ensuring laws that are future-proof and inclusive. The Eswatini regulatory and policy overview include drafted key policy areas for AI, which include, among all, the following: e-government, e-health, national AI strategy, e-learning. There are also foundational laws for responsive AI, and these are in intellectual property, electronic communications and transactions, cybersecurity and cybercrime, and freedom of information. Our Parliament, through its responsive ICT Portfolio Committee and the relevant line ministry, enacted key legislation with respect to AI outlined as follows: the Communications Commission Consumer Protection Regulations, Computer Crime and Cybercrime Act, Consumer Credit Act, and Data Protection Act number 5 of 2022. With respect to Parliament practice and procedure, a digitized system will be launched in September 2025 to ensure live streaming of House proceedings and ease of taking Parliament to the people. One other exceptional experience was the role of AI in elections, which is still evolving. AI is addressing the challenge of human interference and inefficiency in elections by facilitating oversight and accelerated decision-making. The outcome from utilizing AI in Eswatini has resulted in free, fair, and credible elections. Worth noting is that such an innovation cannot roll out without challenges, and these include, amongst all, the need to ensure that data privacy and regulatory compliance is significant, the need to manage misinformation and biases in algorithms. There is also high risk of digital exclusion for marginalized groups, which requires attention. The need to promote or facilitate a process of a process of digital migration and to undertake a process of change management for both the students and their lecturers to prepare them to take on e-learning, and the need for the country to increase internet coverage even to remote parts of the country to facilitate increased access to education. In conclusion, the Parliament of the Kingdom of Eswatini echoes all the expertise, presentations, and affirms the need that AI can be used for monitoring legislative trends, supporting public consultations, fact-checking with automated translation and transcriptions. Chatbots can be used for citizen engagement and also for checking bill similarities and legislative history, thereby enhancing efficiency. I thank you all.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. The next on the podium will be Lesotho, the Kingdom of Lesotho.
Madam Moderator, please allow me to recognize the SADC PF President.
Can you speak to the mic, please?
The Honorable Nzidamilimo Mudenda of the Parliament of Zimbabwe, my colleagues, speakers, and to stand on the protocol that is established. Greetings from the Kingdom of Lesotho, and hearty gratitude to the Parliament of Zimbabwe for warm and exemplary hospitality, and for the choice of a most relevant and involving theme for this 57th SADC PF Plenary Assembly session, which affords us the opportunity to catch up and not get left behind. I must say that we benefited immensely from this morning's presentations. Allow me now, Honorable President, to focus on Lesotho's experience with AI. Lesotho has recently made significant strides in aligning its national development with digital innovation. I wish to elaborate on two policy-level areas in this regard, namely the policy frameworks and e-parliament processes. Starting with policy frameworks, the following three key policy instruments provide the foundation for leveraging AI in legislative and governance processes. One, the National Digital Transformation Strategy from 2023 to 2030. Two, the Lesotho Digital Policy of 2024. But, Honorable President, I wish to focus particularly on the third policy instrument, namely the draft National Artificial Intelligence Policy of 2025. This policy that is in the process of being finalized outlines ethical use, data governance, capacity building, and sectoral implications of AI in public service delivery, particularly in education, agriculture, and justice. It proposes the establishment of a regulatory sandbox for testing AI use cases in government, including predictive analysis for legislative priorities and public sector resource planning. With regard to e-planning processes, Honorable Moderator, Lesotho has recently installed a new system in the chamber, which provides a foundational platform for AI integration, positioning the Parliament of Lesotho to, one, use AI-powered search and summarization tools to support MPs in analyzing legislative texts, video records, historical records, and research findings. Two, to leverage speed-to-text and machine-translated AI to improve accessibility of debates in real time and support multiple languages. Three, enable predictive analytics to prioritize oversight issues, track implementation of laws and parliament decisions, and anticipate emerging public concerns. And four, and last, deploy AI chat boxes to assist citizens in navigating parliamentary services and accessing legislative records, thereby improving public engagement. The system also provides a centralized data environment ideal for piloting AI applications such as legislative trend forecasting, sentiment analysis or citizen inputs, and digital voting audits. I wish to proceed now to challenges, Honorable Moderator. As with many other parliaments in the region, Lesotho has serious...
Good afternoon once again. We're still here in the SADC Parliamentary Forum Symposium session, and you did see earlier on the Deputy Speaker of Parliament in the DRC, Honorable Isaac Jean-Claude Chilumbai. I'm here with him now. Unfortunately, his speech was cut, but he really had so much to unpack on artificial intelligence and as far as the region is concerned. Now, Honorable, thank you so much for joining me now.
Thank you.
Now, you are leading the parliamentary delegation from the DRC. What's your take as far as DRC is concerned on these meetings?
Vous êtes en train de conduire une forte délégation de parlementaires de la RDC. Quelles sont vos impressions à ces assises?
D'abord, c'est une joie de nous retrouver ici dans le cadre du forum parlementaire de la SADC pour examiner une question d'importance très capitale, notamment les opportunités qui peuvent être saisies de l'introduction de l'intelligence artificielle dans nos travaux parlementaires, mais aussi dans l'ensemble du développement de notre pays et de la région.
Now, unfortunately, your speech was cut, but you're raising some very important issues to take note as Africans. Can you just summarize a bit of the most important aspects that you heard from that speech?
Malheureusement que votre discours a été interrompu. Est-ce que vous pouvez juste nous donner un message global par rapport à votre discours?
En fait, il n'a pas été interrompu comme tel. Il y a 2 minutes nous imparties qui ont fait que la partie protocolaire n'a pas été prononcée. Mais le plus important ici, c'est de noter que nous, comme Congo, nous avons pris la balle au bon parce que pour le moment, il a été créé chez nous un ministère du numérique pour tenir compte de ces avancées et qu'au niveau du Parlement, nous sommes en train de prendre aussi des dispositions en intégrant un centre numérique qui va nous permettre de pouvoir adapter nos travaux du quotidien à l'évolution de sciences et de technologies. Ce qui importe ici, c'est de voir dans quelle mesure nous pouvons, en évoluant, saisir les opportunités qu'offre ce nouveau dispositif technologique, mais aussi mesurer les conséquences de ce que ça peut amener, entre autres la possibilité de suppression des emplois dans une région déjà en difficulté par rapport aux opportunités des jeunes. C'est ça que nous avons formulé ici comme recommandation afin que l'intégration régionale soit accélérée et que les chaînes de valeur soient créées pour permettre à ce que en même temps que nous intégrons pour la performance ces nouvelles technologies, que les possibilités pour les jeunes soient toujours grandissantes sur le marché de l'emploi, parce que nous avons aussi noté ici dans différents discours que soit les emplois ou ceux qui travaillent pourraient être supprimés par l'intelligence artificielle parce qu'ils ne voudront pas y recourir, soit alors qu'eux pourraient, en utilisant l'intelligence artificielle, demeurer dans leur activité parce que c'est une innovation qui s'accompagne de beaucoup plus de facilité et de moyens d'interaction que effectivement de ce que nous pensons et qui nous anime en termes de pair. Et il est donc important que cette manifestation se tienne et que ce thème soit abordé bien qu'en retard, parce que de grandes nations, on l'a dit ici, comme la Chine, ont commencé à former leurs enfants, à intégrer dans la formation scolaire depuis 2011 les questions d'intelligence artificielle. C'est un peu plus tard que nous nous adaptons à ça. Et je pense que ce retard peut être récupéré si nous sommes engagés à travailler dans la mutualité.
Justin, just a summary of the interpretation.
Actually, we're going to do
Now, you did mention that some African countries have already started experimenting on artificial intelligence, and the DRC now has a digital code which is approved in 2023. How does the DRC Parliament plan to apply SADC ideas and goals?
La RDC a désormais un code numérique promulgué en 2023. Comment les parlements de la RDC comptent implémenter les perspectives de la SADC?
C'est d'abord ici, il y a ces mécanismes de loi type qui seront progressivement adoptés, qui vont permettre une certaine harmonisation de nos législations sur des questions qui peuvent toucher à notre cohabitation en cette matière précise, et que nous, comme Parlement national, nous ne pourrons que nous adapter à cette dynamique en ouvrant de plus en plus notre pays à ce qui se passe ailleurs et à la conformité que la sous-région de la SADC voudra bien imprimer en matière d'intelligence artificielle. Nous sommes plus que jamais prêts. Notre code numérique, il est dans ses premières phases expérimentales et que nous n'excluons pas la possibilité que par des progrès qui peuvent se réaliser au niveau de la SADC, que nous soyons en mesure d'y revenir pour pouvoir l'adapter. Nous sommes un pays très ouvert en cette matière et surtout lorsque il s'agit de conjuguer des efforts avec d'autres pays de la région, ici la SADC, nous ne manquerons pas de nous adapter pour faciliter les progrès communs que nous avons à réaliser pour le bien de notre population.
Now, looking at the DRC past and the present, how do you think the DRC can regulate the main challenges that you face as far as the AI is concerned?
Quels sont les défis de la régulation à relever pour la RDC au regard de son histoire et des innovations technologiques?
Ils sont énormes les défis, ils sont énormes. D'abord, il faut noter que nous sommes un pays en guerre, une guerre qui dure depuis 30 ans et qu'une grande partie de nos populations est pour le moment en difficulté d'être intégrée à ces progrès parce que prise en otage par les agresseurs ou l'agresseur rwandais et ses supplétifs du M23 et que cela est le plus grand défi en ce moment précis. En même temps, il y a du travail qui s'est fait parce que la couverture en électricité, entre autres, pose encore problème et que les efforts fournis aujourd'hui par le président de la République, son Excellence Félix Tshisekedi, et notre gouvernement tendent à pouvoir couvrir toute notre étendue du territoire de l'électricité d'abord. La première possibilité pour l'accessibilité de toutes nos populations à des technologies. C'est dans cette perspective que, par exemple, le barrage a été construit dans la province de Lualaba, un barrage a été construit dans la province du Kasaï oriental et actuellement le grand barrage Katende est en construction dans la province du Kasaï central pour pouvoir faciliter l'accès de nos populations à l'électricité. Un autre défi majeur d'ailleurs pour accélérer l'adaptation à la technologie d'intelligence artificielle. Il y a bien d'autres défis, nous avons cité ici le chômage des jeunes, la faible intégration d'abord nationale en termes d'infrastructures de communication et des transports et autres. Tout ça, c'est des efforts qui sont en train d'être fournis aujourd'hui pour que nous puissions nous adapter à des dynamiques tant régionales qu'internationales afin de pouvoir récupérer les retards qui sont les nôtres. Ce qui est vrai, c'est que nous sommes plus que jamais engagés. Nous allons nous accommoder avec les efforts que nous préparons ici avec toute la région de la SADC pour que nous puissions nous mettre à point.
And now your final word to the Africans out there or the SADC region. In your speech, the first thing that you said was that the world is changing and it is changing so fast. Now, what can you say as a final word to the SADC region, to the Africans, as far as the digital divide is concerned, the infrastructure and cyber security threats?
Ok, quel est votre message final à l'Afrique? Parce que vous êtes en train de dire que le monde est en train d'évoluer plus vite. Quel est le message que vous lancez à l'Afrique, au SADC, aussi à tout le monde?
Oui, mais le constat qui a été fait ici, c'est que nous sommes faibles, pas comme État isolé. Nous sommes faibles mis ensemble comme Afrique parce que nous avons trop traîné des pas dans les conflits armés, dans des régimes tyranniques qui n'ont pas permis l'éclosion des intelligences, dans le faible équipement de nos universités, de nos centres de recherche. Il est plus que jamais temps qu'ensemble nous puissions travailler, mettre en conjugaison le peu de moyens dont nous disposons dans chacun de nos pays pour pouvoir booster nos économies et devoir nous adapter à la réalité internationale qui est plus qu'évolutive. Parce que si jamais nous choisissons de rester de vrai en vase clos, chacun pourrait s'éliminer individuellement de manière isolée et nous ne pourrons pas très vite rattraper les retards. Donc la démarche ici que vous avez constatée, c'est cette volonté que par des lois types qui seront progressivement adoptées et par la conjugaison de nos efforts comme région, comme sous-région, nous puissions effectivement nous doter des moyens tant humains, matériels et d'autres moyens nécessaires, surtout en termes de formation et de capacitation de nos populations, de nos jeunes, pour que nous puissions être en mesure de participer à la compétition internationale en cette matière. Sinon, c'est l'Afrique qui se mêle et plus précisément la région de la SADC qui va avec. Donc, il y a un effort conjugué à fournir. C'est ce qui justifie même notre présence et notre engagement au sein du Forum parlementaire de la SADC qui bientôt sera transformé en Parlement régional afin de pouvoir commencer à adopter des lois contraignantes qui sont des lois types pour l'ensemble de la région.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chilumbai, for your time and for unpacking your mind on AI as far as the SADC region is concerned, and particularly for DRC.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
That was the Deputy Speaker of Parliament in the DRC, Honorable Chilumbai. From his speech, I got that the world is changing and it's changing so fast. In other words, we as Africans are now supposed to up our game in terms of the digital divide, infrastructure, cybersecurity, anything that has to do with AI growing in our region. So we are going back to the session. It's still ongoing, and we'll still continue giving you more updates on the symposium.
The Parliament of Malawi is currently in the process of developing an ICT policy where issues of artificial intelligence will be embedded. The expectation is that the policy will guide the transformation of parliamentary processes into a more efficient and transparent system. In an effort to embrace the use of AI technology, the Parliament of Malawi is currently using the e-chamber system where most of the processes during plenary are done electronically. The MPs are able to access documents such as reports, bills from their gadgets through the use of the system. Through the use of the system, the communication in the chamber has been automated to the extent that MPs are able to communicate with the presiding officers electronically. The system also records the proceedings of the House directly by...
The time is totally up.
Thank you.
Next will be Mozambique. Members, I gave all of you extra time, all of you. Please don't rush so that the interpreters can understand what you are saying, particularly those that I gave. It's only Angola that was within the time and Eswatini, but all of you took extra time. So.
Sua Excelência, Senhor Presidente do Fórum Parlamentar da SADC, Sua Excelência, Senhor Presidente do Parlamento da República de Zimbábue, Suas Excelências, Senhores Presidentes e Vice-Presidentes dos Parlamentos da região da SADC,
Speakers and deputy speakers and heads of delegations, Your Excellency, the President of the Pan-African Parliament, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I would like, on behalf of the Republic of Mozambique, I would like to thank His Excellency, the President of Zimbabwe, the Speaker of Zimbabwe, for inviting us to take part in this event with a lot of political relevance for our region. And furthermore, I would like to convey a word of solidarity to the people of Zimbabwe and for the warm hospitality, and I would like to leave quite clear that we feel at home as if we were in our country. His Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, in an era when the world is transforming through the impulse of technology, so it imposes the challenge for the potentiality of artificial intelligence. This new frontier is for the modernization, for legislative processes, for the perfecting of the management of institutional information, and also to bridge the gap between people, and for adopting these smart tools. We will be promoting a more transparent and smart and inclusive and efficient, effective nuclear values for consolidating our democracies and for strengthening the public trust in our institutions. In the case of Mozambique, we are trying to develop an ambitious project which we called Citadel Parliamentary and Parliamentary Citadel, and we try to, we want including artificial intelligence, and we would also like to share that the country is already counting with legislative instruments such as the Information Society and the Cybernetic Society, and also regulations for service providers, electronic service providers. And we would like to say that all these tools have instruments have already been approved. And what we think is that Mozambique, with all these tools, we have the legal basis for digital ecosystem which is secure and and we are also trying to prepare fundamental laws for cybernetic and cyber crime, and also for the operation, all with direct impact for regulating the use of ICT and artificial intelligence. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it is our expectation that this Plenary Assembly of the SADC Parliamentary Forum will become a useful platform and fertile for concerting ideas and for the strengthening the role of parliaments in the realization of regional engagements. And it is possible to transform our countries into countries of challenges which are prepared for. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mozambique. The next will be Namibia. Land of the brave.
I recognize the high table there. In summary, the Namibian Parliament is embracing digital transformation through the e-Parliament strategy, which lays the foundation for improved service delivery, legislative efficiency, and citizen interaction. The e-Parliament strategy envisions using digital platforms to provide broader and easier access to legislative information. We envision a system that ensures accessibility for all citizens, including those in rural areas. The strategy will enable the MPs to have access to a wide range of information and knowledge resources, thus aiding them in making informed decisions. It will equip parliamentary committees with appropriate technology to perform their responsibilities more effectively and create platforms to increase engagement with citizens, and lastly, provide parliamentary staff with robust platforms that will make it easier and quicker to process and access documents, as well as streamline secretariat processes. Namibia is actively finalizing critical legislative instruments that provide a robust governance framework for addressing the challenges that come with AI integration. These include ethical, legal, and institutional considerations that must be carefully managed to ensure responsible innovation. The upcoming legislations include the Data Protection Bill to ensure personal privacy and data security, the Cybercrime Bill to address digital threats, including AI misuse, and a draft Artificial Intelligence Bill, which will guide the ethical deployment of AI technologies. These are complemented by the revision of the Communications Act and the rollout of a national artificial intelligence strategy, which includes a National Artificial Intelligence Council and technical working groups for sector-specific implementation. In collaboration with UNESCO, Namibia is also participating in the Readiness Assessment Methodology Project. The initiative aims to evaluate the country's preparedness for ethical AI adoption and to develop a roadmap for capacity building and regulatory enhancements. Concerns such as risk of algorithmic biases and the manipulation of information are being actively considered. Equally, securing citizen and legislative data is a top priority, with cybersecurity protocols being strengthened to prevent breaches or misuse by promoting transparency of AI algorithms to allow for public oversight and avoid embedded biases. There is a need, we think, that our region work together through our parliaments, but also through executives, not only to harmonize legislation related to AI governance, but also to collaborate more and leverage on global and regional best practices. But most importantly, we think that this AI must also be embraced at executive level where the programs are implemented to impact positively on the lives of our citizens. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The next is the Seychelles.
The left.
President, Madam Vice President, fellow delegates, good afternoon. Speaking for the National Assembly of Seychelles, I greatly appreciate the inclusion of this theme in the plenary, and we are committed to the belief that artificial intelligence is a vital tool for progress. We have begun paying attention to this subject. In 2023, we held a symposium on artificial intelligence, which largely focused on data protection, privacy, and civil order. Subsequently, we have begun revision of laws where the application of AI is relevant. Specifically, we have reviewed and amended the Data Protection Act to ensure better protection of information, personal information. We reviewed the Cyber Crimes and Related Crimes Act, which also had very specific applications for artificial intelligence. And we have also, in a revision of the Penal Code, taken note of artificial intelligence in addressing crimes related to hate speech and disinformation. All of these have launched us on the road of the use of AI. But what we really need to do next is a comprehensive approach to incorporating AI in development processes. Our National Assembly has been committed to the use of AI. Our members are quite ready to use tools in the preparation of their addresses in the National Assembly or in reports. What we did as a National Assembly was we signed on to the Microsoft 365 platform, which also incorporates AI tools. So these are available to our members. Our media and IT departments have been very keen to adopt AI tools in organizing the preparation of National Assembly presentations, records, and archiving. So we have made a start. I think what is our biggest challenge is that AI at the moment is scattered. The use of AI, the interest of AI is scattered among different organizations, ministries, different parts of government. What we need to do, I believe, is bring these interests together and have one body driving the development of artificial intelligence in national development, in government planning, and including the National Assembly. This, I believe, is the best way for us to get on with it. I want to say that we are committed to the use of AI. We have the infrastructure Fortunately, that is necessary. We have widespread, almost 100% access to the internet and to computer and equipment. The smartphone is everywhere. And we have begun the improvement of data centers. And this is largely in private hands, but there has been great progress in expanding the capacity of data centers to permit better use of artificial intelligence. So we remain committed to this very vital tool, and I hope that in any future encounter I will have much more to report. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Seychelles. We now call on South Africa. Mzansi for sure. And we welcome Honorable Madikizela.
Thank you, Deputy President, President of SADC PF and Speaker of Madagascar National Assembly, Honorable Justin Tockley, the Deputy President of SADC Parliamentary Forum and Member of South African Parliament, Honorable Silva Lucas, the Speaker of Zimbabwean Parliament, our host, Honorable Advocate JFN Mudenda, Secretary General of SADC Parliamentary Forum, Her Excellency Boemo Sekgoma, Honorable Speakers and Leaders of Delegation from SADC countries, honored guests. Today we listen to great presentations from Zimbabwean Minister of ICT, Postal and Courier Services, Honorable Mavitera, and various presenters from the academia, indicating that AI is presenting a critical opportunity for enhancing the efficiency of parliamentary processes and systems. It should not be seen as a replacement of parliamentary traditions such as making laws, public participation, and public engagement. AI tools and systems must be seen as an opportunity to simplify the processes and systems of parliamentarians to undertake their work. They can be used to summarize bills, reports, and transcripts in plain language, making them easier to understand for ordinary citizens. Making such summaries available can enhance public participation in the legislative process and foster communication between MPs and their constituents. While some countries in the SADC region and African continent stand out for their commitment and progress in preparation for AI adoption, others face significant obstacles such as structural inequalities and digital divides as a result of poor digital infrastructure investment. These disparities highlight the need for concerted efforts to increase investment in digital infrastructure and build requisite ICT expertise to ensure to not only operate but also prevent manipulation of AI tools to undermine the institutional integrity of parliamentary processes such as votes and even chatbots. Although South Africa's AI policy is still in its formative stage, the government has made significant strides in outlining a national approach to artificial intelligence, as evidenced by the following developments. The establishment of Presidential Commission on Fourth Industrial Revolution in 2019 aimed at developing South Africa's strategy for the Fourth Industrial Revolution. The drafting of a national AI strategy is currently underway, and while a dedicated formal national AI policy or strategy does not yet exist, drafts and proposals are being developed. The establishment of the AI Institute of South Africa in 2022, tasked with advancing research, innovation, and skills development in AI, particularly it aims to position South Africa as a digital technology leader on the continent and globally, is a product of the Presidential Commission Fourth Industrial Revolution and is launched in partnership with the University of Johannesburg, UJ, the Tshwane University of Technology, and Department of Communications and Digital Technologies. inclusion of AI in Department of Science and Innovation's priorities under the decadal plan of 2022 to 2032. The promulgation of the Protection of Personal Information Act, POPIA, which governs data privacy and underscores South Africa's commitment to global norms surrounding ethical AI regulation and governance. AI regulation is expected to build upon existing frameworks, including sector-specific guidelines in health, education, and finance. Focus on education and skills development, particularly integrating AI and machine learning into TVET colleges, university curricula, and short courses. Prioritization of digital skills development under the National Digital and Future Skills Strategy of 2020 to 2030. Today's discussion on AI value addition, risk, and challenges for parliamentary operations are timely. The 2024 IPU guidelines for AI in parliaments remind us that we are on the brink of transformation in how parliaments function and serve citizens, presenting both extraordinary opportunities and significant challenges. In addition, Deputy President, to providing a framework for parliamentarians to adopt AI, these guidelines also including advocating a measured, risk-based approach to AI adoption, recommending initiating small pilot projects, focusing on clear benefit use cases, ensuring robust human oversight, prioritizing transparency and accountability, investing in data and AI literacy, engaging diverse stakeholders. These recommendations highlight the need for parliamentarians to take a leading role in AI governance, aligning with our symposium's theme on the experiences and opportunities of harnessing AI in the SADC region. I so submit. Thank you.
Thank you very much, South Africa. Zambia will be the next.
Good afternoon, Mr. President, honorable colleagues, and distinguished guests. It is an honor to contribute to the discussion on harnessing artificial intelligence for effective and efficient parliamentary processes in the SADC region. Mr. President, the Zambian Parliament has taken significant steps to integrate artificial intelligence and other emerging technologies into its operations, aiming to improve transparency, accountability, and efficiency. Guided by our ICT strategic plan 2022 to 2026, we are focused on building a smart, inclusive, and modern parliament. Mr. President, one key initiative is the My e-Parliament mobile application, which promotes real-time interaction between citizens and members of parliament. It allows public participation in parliamentary proceedings, including making submissions to committees. Mr. President, internally, the Zambian Parliament has developed an e-chamber system that manages plenary and committee sittings, facilitates electronic voting, tracks attendance, and allows members to raise points of order or matters of urgent public importance electronically. Mr. President, currently, we are working to automate our legislative information management systems using artificial intelligence. Mr. President, this will help avoid the repetition of questions in the House and enhance the preparation of the order paper using the AI-powered sentiment analysis. Mr. President, AI will also play a key role in processing the Hansard by automating transcription and editing, reducing turnaround time and allowing reporters to act as editors. Further, the Zambian Parliament aims to use AI tools like natural language processing to support real-time search for parliamentary rules and automatically detect unparliamentary language during debates. Mr. President, knowing the risks that come with artificial intelligence, the Zambian Parliament has developed a draft risk policy management manual, which will help in coming up with strategies and measures that will be used in mitigating and managing the risks that come with artificial intelligence, among other risks. In conclusion, the Zambian Parliament, Mr. President, is firmly committed to modernizing, its functions by harnessing artificial intelligence and other digital innovations to build a more responsive and efficient institution. Mr. President, I thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Finally, it will be Zimbabwe that will be presenting.
Mr. President, and our Deputy President who is chairing this session, it will be amiss of me to repeat what our panelists stated when they made their presentation, because their presentations indicated how the Parliament of Zimbabwe has been collaborating with the academia. And their presentations will be translated into Portuguese and French. They form part of our report as far as Zimbabwe is concerned. However, allow me to read the last version of our report. Now, the experiences of the Parliament of Zimbabwe suggest several opportunities for the SADC region. Indeed, we need to develop AI applications specifically tailored for our regional parliamentary context, rather than simply adopting digital technologies designed for other political economies. We can innovate solutions that address our unique digital ecosystem challenges and leverage our strength. There's also need to explore the feasibility of pooling technological resources and expertise in order to achieve economies of scale in technological investment. Furthermore, a common legal framework for the governance of artificial intelligence is needed to enhance transparency, which is essential for building the information economy anchored on information communication technology, ICT, predictability, and legal certainty. As we develop the regional AI framework, establishing shared principles for risk appetite will be pivotal in our AI applications and innovation initiatives. Each parliament must therefore develop its own contextualized understanding of the acceptable risk levels. Above all, our parliaments should establish committees of the future, like what Uruguay and Finland have already done, whose major role will be to futuristically map out the campus for the AI applications and innovation opportunities for accelerated parliamentary processes in the 21st century. Such commendable efforts can be buttressed by SADC parliaments through the domestication of the African Union Continental Artificial Intelligence Strategy of July 2024. Madam Deputy President, the Parliament of Zimbabwe stands ready to collaborate with the SADC parliaments, the academia, and technological savvy partners in this revolutionary endeavor. May I end up by commending to the delegates that it is critical that we revisit Agenda 2063, the Continental Artificial Intelligence Strategy, as well as the Artificial Intelligence Act of the European Union. If we read these documents, my friends, you will not be disappointed, and hope will be sealed in your hearts as far as the application of artificial intelligence is concerned in our parliamentary processes. I so submit. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Zimbabwe. Whilst the Dean is descending from the stage, can we just stand there where we are, just for a body stretch, before we continue? All members, no one going out unless you must go to the restroom, just stretch. We are actually giving you a standing ovation. Thank you very much. Let's sit down. I was just telling Honorable Mudenda, for the last night's party, we got a standing ovation. Thank you very much. Honorable members, we just want to continue by presenting the communique of this symposium on the theme, but I also want to put a disclaimer up front to our French and Portuguese speaking colleagues. I will just be reading this in English. It will be translated as soon as it is being presented to you as a presentation. It will be in the language of preference. So if you allow me, let me just continue. Now, this is the communique of the 57th SADC Parliamentary Forum Plenary Assembly Symposium on the theme. And then I will start. Whereas Article 6 of the SADC Parliamentary Forum Constitution enjoins the SADC Parliamentary Forum to strengthen the implementation capacity of SADC by involving parliamentarians in the affairs of SADC, as well as to provide a forum for discussion on matters of common interest to SADC. Aware that the fourth industrial revolution, driven by advancements in artificial intelligence, is truly and firmly underway, and recognizing that Africa and the SADC region can no longer afford to overlook the transformative impact of artificial intelligence, as it has become integral to progress and development. The SADC Parliamentary Forum 57th Plenary Assembly Session convened a symposium on the 6th of June 2025 on the theme, is it the 6th? Yes. The forum is taking place on the 6th, maybe. On the theme, harnessing artificial intelligence for effective and efficient parliamentary processes in the SADC region, experiences, challenges, and opportunities. The symposium, which brought together honorable speakers and parliamentarians from 13 SADC member states, representatives of the Zimbabwean government, and AI experts drawn from tertiary institutions in Zimbabwe incisively explored practical solutions and mechanisms to harness artificial intelligence to improve parliamentary business processes, promote participatory democracy, guarantee inclusivity, and strengthen the contribution of parliaments to national and regional governance frameworks. In officially opening the symposium, the President of the SADC PF, the Honorable Speaker Justin Tokely, laid down the gauntlet for SADC national parliaments by imploring them to cajole SADC nations to react promptly and tap into the nascent opportunities conferred by artificial intelligence, whilst at the same time tackling the challenges through a rule-based framework, affirming that it is only a matter of time before parliaments fully consider the use of artificial intelligence to catalyze parliamentary processes. The SADC PF President underscored the need to proactively legislate for artificial intelligence, following the example of the European Parliament, which, as per Regulation 2024/1689 of the European Parliament and the Council, had laid down harmonized rules for artificial intelligence. The Minister of Information, Communication Technology, Postal and Courier Services in the Republic of Zimbabwe, Honorable Tatenda Mavetera, buttressed the observations by the SADC PF President in outlining the Zimbabwean government's perspective on artificial intelligence. Honorable Mavetera emphasized the imperative of adopting enabling legislative and policy frameworks at the national and regional level that promote the adoption of artificial intelligence while ensuring adequate safeguards against the hazards of artificial intelligence. Mobilizing domestic resources to fund AI research and infrastructure development, strengthening local and intra-SADC digital and innovation hubs, and prioritizing the adoption of ethical AI that serves SADC citizens' best interests. Acknowledging the role that the SADC Parliamentary Forum, SADC FC, has played in advocating for the harmonization of legislative texts across the region through the development of model laws, Honorable Minister Mavetera encouraged the forum to finalize the development of the draft model law on artificial intelligence, which will serve as a benchmark for the development of national legislative frameworks by SADC member states. Recognizing the digital divide, particularly between urban and rural areas in the region, SADC national parliaments were challenged to leverage on their control of the national purse to ensure adequate budgetary allocations for AI research and development and the establishment of the appropriate infrastructure, including in the hinterland, to ensure equitable access to AI. The symposium also benefited from expert presentations from representatives of Bindura University of Science Education, Chinhoyi University of Technology, Midland State University, University of Zimbabwe, and the Harare Institute of Technology. In addition to showcasing the various AI tools that have been developed by the respective tertiary institutions that can be customized and deployed in bolstering parliamentary processes in the region, the institutions of higher learning collectively emphasized the need for parliaments and academic institutions to collaborate more closely in developing AI tools that can enhance the efficiency and effectiveness of parliamentary processes and ensure ethical and effective AI integration. The country reports presented by national parliaments demonstrated that SADC parliaments had readily embraced the AI revolution, as evidenced by the proactive utilization of AI in parliamentary processes and the enactment of legislation and policies to govern the adoption and the use of AI. A key recurring theme in the country reports was a concerted call for a regional legal framework and institutional innovation to guide responsible, rights-based AI use in SADC parliaments, with emphasis on tailored applications, shared resources, and enhanced accessibility to bridge digital gaps. In view of the foregoing, the 57th SADC PF Plenary Assembly resolved as follows. AI adoption is inevitable and it should be embraced. Notwithstanding the risks associated with the adoption of AI, the AI juggernaut is inexorably moving forward, and the SADC region cannot afford to be left behind in this revolution. SADC member states are encouraged to embrace AI as the benefits far outweigh the pitfalls. AI needs assessment and strategy. SADC parliaments are encouraged to undertake a comprehensive evaluation of current systems, including infrastructure and skills gap, to inform the development of a strategic roadmap for AI adoption. The evaluation should also be alive to the risks associated with AI. Capacity development. SADC parliaments are urged to roll out targeted capacity building programs for members and staff to enhance AI literacy, ethical awareness, and practical application in parliamentary processes. Infrastructure development. Noting that AI requires immense computing power, vast data storage, and advanced algorithms, traditional infrastructures may be ill-suited to support these demands. Parliaments must urge SADC member states to mobilize domestic resources and encourage public-private partnerships to modernize infrastructure and ensure that any investments in AI are maximized. In bridging the digital divide, Parliaments must oversee the equitable rollout of AI in member states by ensuring that everyone, regardless of location or socio-economic status, has equal access to technology and digital literacy skills. The adoption of AI must leave no one and no place behind. Creating a conducive legislative environment for AI adoption, Parliaments, through the enactment of appropriate legislation, must create an enabling legislative and policy environment for the adoption of AI, whilst guaranteeing the safety and security of users and the nation from the latent threats to personal and national security. On a model law on AI, the SADC Parliamentary Forum is encouraged to finalize the development of the model law on AI to provide a reference point for the regional parliaments in the development and or improvement of national AI-related legislation. The regulatory framework. The SADC PF and national parliaments must urge SADC member states through the SADC Secretariat to initiate a consultative process towards the development of a regional legal and regulatory framework on the responsible use of artificial intelligence. In conclusion, the symposium, the President of SADC PF, Honorable Speaker Justin Tokley, expressed profound appreciation to the government and the Parliament of Zimbabwe for successfully hosting the symposium. He commended parliaments for graciously sharing their country's context, thus enriching the liberation of the 57th Plenary Assembly. Thus so done at Victoria Falls at the Elephant Hills Lodge in Zimbabwe on the 3rd of June 2025. I so submit. The SG will just inform us about the procedure before we will continue and allow the President to do the closing remarks. Thank you very much, SG. I was just asking the SG on the procedure here henceforth, and she said this will be distributed, and if the members feel that there is anything that they want to add that we possibly haven't spoken about, they will have the opportunity to finalize the communique before we leave here. Yes, Speaker, something that you wanted to say?
Just to revise Article 10 of the communique, to disabuse the notion that all parliaments in SADC have put in place legislation to, as far as the governance of artificial intelligence is concerned. That's a small observation I've made. right at the end, it says done at Victoria Falls. We have to distinguish between the Victoria Falls, the iconic, scenic, and the city. So it should read Victoria Falls City, at Victoria Falls City. So that is distinguishable from the Victoria Falls, Mosi Atunya. Thank you.
I also take it that was also a commercial break, because yes, we will definitely do so. Thank you very much, Speaker. So I think that will now give us an opportunity to call on our Honorable President, the Honorable Justin Tokely, to conclude the symposium by a vote of thanks. Thank you. Over to you, Mr. President. The President will ascend to the podium.
Good afternoon. Bonsoir. Je ne serai pas long, moins de 5 minutes, puisque vos visages me disent que vous êtes déjà fatigués.
Your faces show that you are tired. We have been working tirelessly the whole day. Honorable President of Parliament, Speakers of Parliament of Zimbabwe, Jacob Francis Mudenda, Parliament of the session, of the plenary session, the 57th Plenary Assembly session of SADC PF, Honorable President, Speakers of Parliament of Pan-African Parliament, I think is already gone, Honorable Speakers of National Assembly of SADC and the heads of delegation, Honorable MPs here present, Honorable Representative of Region North here present, Her Excellency Secretary General of the Forum of PF, the representative of the civil society, the personnel of Forum of SADC, distinguished guests, all protocol observed. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the SADC PF and to in my name, personal name, I would like to thank our guest of honor, Honorable Tatenda Matsidera, the Minister of Technology, Information and Communication, and who intervened virtually this morning, and also her team, the competent team composed of human resources who have been there for the success of this symposium. Honorable members and the distinguished participants, we are going to express our gratitude to the Honorable President, Honorable Francis Mudenda, our Dean, for the preparation which have been put in place in order to hold this symposium. Honorable delegates, dear colleagues, we are coming to the end of this symposium, which is encouraging in order to continue the rationalization of the parliamentary process, to reinforce for the capacity building in terms of legislation, and to optimize the affectation of our resources and orient our actions to the objective to facilitate the participation of citizens to the means of AI. Honorable members, Thank you for your participation to this symposium and for also to share with us the situations that is going on into your respective countries and to talking about the debates and the contribution to the innovations and also the formation to which we need. Therefore, the communication presented by different countries were very excellent and clear. When we say the knowledge has value only when it is shared. Honorable members, distinguished guests, we are at the end of this our symposium. Allow me to thank once again each and everyone here present for your participation, active participation, and for your contribution today. At this level, this is my honor to declare officially close the symposium organized to this 57 plenary assembly session. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I've told you that it will be less than 5 minutes. I think that I've held my promise. Thank you.
Thank you very much, President. Honorable members, can you just remain seated whilst we call Mr. Joseph Manzi to make the announcements.
Thank you so much, the Vice President who is chairing this session, and also the SADC PF President, all speakers and all honorable members. I have one announcement that I've been asked to make on behalf of the leadership. Honorable members, as you are aware that you were supposed to commence the plenary business today, but due to the business that you had today, it has not been possible. So what it means is that the plenary business will be tackled in 2 days, tomorrow and the other day. Because of that, it has been suggested that the starting time tomorrow should be 8:30 instead of 9 o'clock. And likely that you are likely to sit perhaps beyond the normal adjournment time tomorrow. But that will be announced by the chair in terms of the adjournment time. But that's an announcement that at the moment has to be made. What is also more critical tomorrow is that there are new members that will take oath at the beginning of the business tomorrow. Therefore, we or the members are encouraged to be here by 8:15. They are already settled, so that when the president is calling the new members to take oath, they should be available in the room. So in that regard, we ask the secretariat that organizes the transport for the honorable members from their hotels, make sure that members are picked in good time, on good time, so that they're here also in good time, so that we don't have to miss the important business that is scheduled at the beginning of the session. Thank you so much, Right Honorable President and the Right Honorable Speakers and the members. That's an announcement that I had. I thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Manzi. Honorable members, the President have already
Hi everyone, this is China Farm. Today's program features the story of Liu Yuxin. He lives in Zhenglan Banner in China's Inner Mongolia Autonomous Region, a place where sand is part of daily life. Desertification is the main constraint on agricultural development. Liu Yuxin has been looking at ways to change this situation. He grows an interesting plant on his land. At late August, all he does day and night is guarding his land. What kind of treasure is he planting, and how does he deal with
their jurisdictions? In accordance with the legislative framework promulgated in 2013, 61 community share ownership trusts were established, with 58 subsequently being registered. To revitalize the community share ownership trust program, the government of Zimbabwe will undertake a comprehensive review of the implementation framework and provide corporate rescue support to struggling trusts. A robust economic empowerment policy and regulations will be developed to ensure effective and transparent management of community share ownership trusts. Additionally, efforts will be made to publicize the existence of community share ownership trusts and ensure comprehensive audits in terms of funds utilization. Cabinet received and noted an update on the implementation of the Zimbabwe Industrial Reconstruction and Growth Plan as it pertains to the pharmaceutical value chains. The pharmaceutical sector has been identified as a key priority area within the Zimbabwe Industrial Reconstruction and Growth Plan, given its significant growth and import substitution potential. The strategic objective of the value chain is to increase the proportion of locally produced essential medicines from 30% to 60% by 2025 and reduce the national medicines input bill from approximately 220 million United States dollars in 2020 to around 100 million United States dollars by the end of 2025. As of 2023, the pharmaceutical market size was estimated at United States dollars 400 million. Since 2020, the local pharmaceutical value chains has experienced tremendous growth, with the percentage of locally produced essential medicines increasing from 15% to 36%. Additionally, capacity utilization has risen significantly from 12% in 2020 to 51% in 2024. The sector has also seen an influx of new entrants, resulting in a 56% increase in the total number of producers from 9 to 14. Although pharmaceutical exports remain lower than imports, there was a notable 15.6% rebound between 2020 and 2024, with exports growing from United States dollars 4.5 million to 5.2 million United States dollars. Furthermore, the import management strategy has enabled two indigenous pharmaceutical retailers to transition into manufacturing. Notably, the Medicines Control Authority of Zimbabwe has achieved maturity level 3 of the World Health Organization's benchmarking tool, indicating a stable and well-functioning regulatory system. To guarantee continued growth of the pharmaceutical value chain, the government of Zimbabwe will continue to provide adequate funding to NATFAM and to commit to ensuring sustained uptake of locally produced drugs by